How long do you think it will take from the time CBDCs are introduced to the time they will start going negative or giving your CBDCs expiration dates?
Well, time is going to tell us the real answer, but my guess is that they're going to want to see usage. So they're not going to do that until they get a certain level of compliance and usage. How quickly that is, I mean, they're going to introduce them in a crisis and say, well, they're
Right.
going to say, and the crisis, my bet is that the crisis has something to do with very high inflation, because they're going to sell it to us as if you give us this, there won't be any inflation. No, there will be deflation in a rather large way. But they're not going to do it right off the bat, because they're not going to want you to know that anything has changed. So I can't tell you exactly when, but there is a level of use that they'll be looking for. And then once they get that, then they can take it to the next level.
Yeah, and also think of it in terms of negative rates forces spending. So
Correct.
Right now they don't want spending. They want to retract your spending because they're trying to decrease inflation, right? They're trying to fight inflation by raising the interest rates. So negative rates or expiration dates would force you to spend it. So we'd have to be more in type of a situation, like a crisis situation like 2008, where people started retracting and they wanted to force people to spend to get rid of the deflation and force inflation higher. So something like a negative rate or a CBDC expiration date probably isn't going to come until we see a different environment than we're in now, more of a crisis situation where people are not spending money and they want to force you to spend it.
Well, the ISM came out and it was more today, and it was more negative than they had even anticipated. So I think that's kind of interesting. So they're starting to see the result, because remember, when policy is put in place, whatever that policy may be, at this point, there's a lag. But, people get impatient, governments get impatient, central bankers get impatient. So, yeah, and they will introduce it because there is really no choice.
Well, the CBDCs are definitely the government's answer to future problems.
Probably why they bailed out the venture capitalists and the technology companies. That'll help them introduce that.
Yeah, I'm even seeing it talked about on mainstream media, right? About how that it will be the government's solution.
If you like this clip and you want to watch the full video, just click right here. And to subscribe, click right here.